Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. This is going to be a very impactful story, a very strong story, but this is a father angry, and rightfully so, of his daughter getting brutally murdered by a person that should have been behind bloody bars, should have been in jail. But because the Democrats, they have cell phone crime policies, they let these monsters out, they let them roam the streets, and they commit heinous crimes. This is all because of the Democratic Party being soft on crime and allowing these people to murder others. So we're going to go exactly into this and what has been going on here. Because this career criminal is just wandering the streets, and now his daughter is gone because of this insanity. Grieving father blasts polls for allowing daughter Logan Federico's career criminal to remain on the streets. The distraught father of a 20-year-old aspiring teacher murdered by a career criminal while visiting friends at the University of South Carolina scolded lawmakers on Monday for the lax crime policies that allowed her killer to remain free. Stephen Federico delivered a raw, gut-wrenching address during a congressional hearing in Charlotte aimed at tackling growing concerns over violent crime and repeat offenders, speaking just weeks after the high-profile murder of Ukrainian national Irina Zrutska. Yes, because this woman was also murdered because the Democrats, they have cell phone crime policies, so she was murdered because this guy that had schizophrenia and all these other problems was just roaming the streets, and she died because of the Democrats. This is a Democratic problem. This is a Democratic issue. This is a Democratic. Let's just put it this way: all the blame goes on the Democrats. All the blame, single blame, nobody else. And we need to put our pressure on their necks until they can change their policies and change their ways. All right, well, JMReports, you're getting pretty aggressive here. It's like you're interesting because yes, I am. Because I am tired of these innocent people being killed by Democratic policies because they want to cater to the little innocent baby children. That's because they had a rough time, or because we have to be fair to these people. No, they committed these crimes. They committed these things. They should be put behind bars. Bar none. Get them out of society. Tension was already high before the grief-stricken address to the committee after Democratic North Carolina Representative Deborah Rose mistakenly pointed to a photo of his daughter, identifying it as Zrutska. Yeah, because, these Democrats, they don't care. They don't care about your life. If they did, they wouldn't have these policies. But because they don't care, they just have these policies. And he's going to go on a huge spiel here. And we're going to go on to Nancy Mace of how many charges this person has had. Because after 39 arrests and 25 felony charges, Alexander Dickey was free to walk the streets because for some unknown reason, because this guy had 39 arrests and 25 felony charges, he should be allowed in society because that's just okay, right? We should just allow these people to roam the streets. Now, Dickey is charged in the murder of 20-year-old Logan Federico. The Federico family says they're still waiting to hear if the SC solicitor will pursue the death penalty. And this is what this has to go. So let's go and see this, all right?
To Logan Federico, a 22-year-old aspiring teacher. She was visiting friends when a 30-year-old with a lengthy rap sheet broke in and murdered her in cold blood.
Think about your child coming home from a night out with their friends, laying down, going to sleep, feeling somebody come in the room and wake them, and drag her out of bed, naked, forced on her knees, with her hands over her head, begging for her life. She was 5'3". She weighed 115 pounds. Bang! Dead. Gone. Why? Because Alexander Dickey, who was arrested 39 times, 25 felonies, was on the street. You will be sick and tired of my face.
First of all, I'm so sorry for the loss of your daughter. It is a heartbreak. I have a daughter about the same age, and you say that Logan's suspected killer, Alexander Dickey, was treated with more respect, seemed to have more rights than she did. What did you mean by that?
Well, I mean, if you take a look at his criminal resume, he's got 39 crimes, 25 felonies, and they cared more about making sure he wasn't put in prison than worrying about whether or not he was going to hurt somebody. His crimes escalated every time he committed a new one. I mean, he finally graduated to the jackpot and executed our daughter. I mean, we're still trying to hear from the South Carolina solicitor to see what he's going to do, whether or not he's going to seek the death penalty or not, which obviously it checks all the boxes that it does. But they're more concerned about keeping criminals out of the prisons and out of the institutions than they are putting them in there to try to rehabilitate them. You can't rehabilitate some of these guys. It's just impossible.
I agree. It's just the same thing. You're like, oh, we need to rehabilitate the child grabbers, the pedos. We got to rehabilitate these people. Really? Because these people can't be rehabilitated. And of course, when we go out and want to say, oh, we should castrate some of these, pedos or whatever because, they can't be trusted. Of course, the far left are going to say, oh, no, that's grotesque. That's evil. Well, isn't that what you guys are doing to children anyways when it comes to transitioning? So it's no different there, right? So let's play that game. Let's play that sick game.
We're going to introduce you to
doing. And yes, it's like, yes. And I want something to be very clear here because this is something that I think you people don't seem to understand. And watch this one woman here clearly look when he says bang, the loud as he does, she jumps.
Bang!
Notice that she jumps because we need to instill the fear of these Democrats and make sure they change their policies. And if they do not, well, I guess we should get them arrested. Every single judge that has let this SOB out of jail should be arrested and charged for complicity to murder along with every other felony that this man has. I am sick and tired of these judges being allowed to let these monsters out of jail and then walk free and not face consequences. No, it is enough. I am tired of this. We are not doing this anymore. I want to make this perfectly clear. I want Donald Trump, I want our administration, I want our Republicans to start going, and some of them are. I want them to go after these judges, and I want them arrested, and I want them behind bars for 20 years, and have that being racked up consistently for every single felony. Let's put it this way: the average charge will be 5 to 10 years. And then when it comes down to with the person that did it, well, guess what? Every felony that they have received or they have done, add another 5 years to that. And what happens is this will make sure that judges just don't end up letting out these criminals because these people do not need to be out of here. They do not need to be within the walking public. And we're not going to end that here. Because, again, this is something that we need to go over. So we do this here. This is 4 minutes. We're going to go over this. I'll probably remain silent because, again, this is disgusting.
I'm just curious. Here's what I need you to do. When I tell you this story, think about your kids. Think about your child coming home from a night out with their friends, laying down, going to sleep, feeling somebody come in the room and wake them and drag her out of bed naked, forced on her knees with her hands over her head, begging for her life, begging for her hero, her father, me, that couldn't be there. She was 5'3". She weighed 115 pounds. Bang! Dead. Gone. Why? Because Alexander Dickey, who was arrested 39 goddamn times, 25 felonies, was on the street. How about that? How good are we doing for our family? How good are you doing for your kids? He should have been in jail for over 140 years for all the crimes he committed. You know how much time he spent in prison? A little over 600 days in 10 years. He's only 30 years old. He was committing 2.65 crimes a year since he was 15 years old, but nobody could figure out that he couldn't be rehabilitated. Well, you'd have to put him in prison to see if he could be rehabilitated. Isn't that the idea of prison? But no, my daughter wanted to be a teacher. She finally figured it out 2 weeks before she was executed. And I haven't heard a damn word from Byron Gibson in South Carolina. Not one word. 4 months, no communication.
Of course not, because they're complicit with this. They want this to happen. This is the Democratic mantra working right here where you see it. The Democrats don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about me. They don't give a damn about anybody. Because they care only for the far leftists, that these people want to ram through the streets, set things on fire, kill us. And we expect leniency from these people? What a world are we living in here? The Democrats won't denounce this. They're probably celebrating, having champagne and drinking good stuff while this person is gone, dead, not here. This is all. Democrats don't care. They've shown they don't care. The mayor says they don't care. And until we get these demons out of our country, out of office, it won't stop. And I'm telling everybody here, everybody that is watching this video, get out. Get in your local elections and get these demons out of our Congress, out of our country. We do not need them here. Until they change their ways to make it to where laws are in place, to where we can actually fix things and make sure these criminals, these demons, are locked them in jail. Screw rehabilitation. I don't care. If it's for petty crimes like stealing or stuff or whatever, depending on how many times they do it, okay, rehabilitate them. The rest of these demons, keep them in jail or execute them. Get them out. Get them the death penalty. These people do not need to be here. We need to change the Democrats by force. Otherwise, we will keep seeing our people, our loved ones, die by the behests of the Democrats and their soft on crime policies.
His biggest concern was that he was pissed off about my interview and how I made him look on the Fox News channel with Trey Gowdy. How pathetic is that? That we're letting our 22-year-old kid visiting friends. It's all she ever wanted to do was visit friends. And she literally was executed while on her knees begging for her life. Her name's Logan Federico, not Irina. And you will not forget her. I promise you. You will be sick and tired of my face and my voice until this gets fixed. I will fight until my last breath for my daughter. You need to fight for the rest of our children, the rest of the innocents, and stop protecting the people that keep taking them from us. Please. You have the power. We put you in the power to do what you have to do. We're asking you, we're begging you all to stop this. 39 crimes in 10 years, 25 felonies. Can anybody here explain to me, well, how possibly he could be on the street? Possibly be on the street. How is it possible? I could sit down in a room and I could explain the whole process of how it failed, how South Carolina failed, Logan, okay? How lack of communication. What y'all did, you woke up a beast and you pissed off the wrong daddy. Because I'm going to put it out there. And I'm not going to be quiet until somebody helps. Logan deserves to be heard. Everyone on this panel deserves to be heard. And we will. Trust me. My daughter laid on the floor for 7 hours before somebody in that house recognized that something was wrong. And that career criminal, an hour later, went on a spending spree with her debit card. When they saw his face on a video, they didn't have to do a check. He was arrested so many times, they knew who he was. They knew exactly where to go get him. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic that I'm here today. Thank you for your time.
This guy's anger is the anger that I feel. I feel angry for him. I feel angry because I see this every time. I report on this so often, and it's always at the behest of the Democrats. Go look at any city, by the way. Go look at any city and see who controls that city. It is a Democrat. A Democrat controls that city, not a Republican. And then when we want to say, like, oh, well, the Republicans, no. You people, you Democrats, you're the ones that are doing this. Or like Republicans, no, you people allow people to be killed. You allow criminals to end other people's lives. You are the ones that are causing the mayhem. You're the ones that are causing this destruction. It's the Democrats' fault. And anybody voting for the Democrats right now are complicit in it and are aiding and baiting in it. 100%, without doubt. You're just like, oh, no, it's like, no. Because if this doesn't anger you and you cannot do your own bloody research to find out on who truly did this and who was behind it and what the Democrats are, it's disgusting. And as he said, the guy complains about how he was criticized. No, because he doesn't care. The Democrats don't care. They don't care if this young woman was executed. You know why it is? Because she's probably white. She's white. This young woman here is white. The criminal, though, he's a black. He's a black man. So we got to protect the black man. Because obviously, if we go out and show that who did this, I mean, it doesn't look good for us. We'll be racist. Racist be damned. I'd rather have people be racist and put people like this in jail than having to deal with people getting murdered for no actual reason. Imagine being in her shoes and begging and on your knees begging for your life and just being executed. And all because the Democrats won't do their job. They won't do their job. They will release people because of empathy, because I feel for them. Screw your feelings. I don't care about the criminals. I could care less. I haven't done a single bloody crime in my bloody life, and I haven't been in jail. Not once. But I'm black, though. Maybe it's time to start realizing on who the real enemies are, and it's most likely the Democrats at this point, because obviously this woman would be alive if they did their job. They don't do their job, and they gloat and celebrate death. So at this point, the Democrats are the enemy of the people. I'm leaving that there. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.